date. I have my bachelor's and my master's. Think about who I would date. Look at all of me. Look at me. Don't look at the mess. Look at how I'm dressing. Look at me. Do you think I'm gonna be with somebody who is hood? No.
Why in this day and age that we have women with all these degrees, more women enrolled in college than ever before, more women in high positions being CEOs, supervisors, and bosses, they can get their professional lives together. But you notice these women cannot get their personal lives together. Why are women so delusional? And this mainly black women. Why are you so delusional? Stay to the end and see who gets this week's Stomp Award. You don't want to miss this. Coming up next. I know it looks different here. It was snowing in the Northeast. We had this huge snowstorm in the Northeast. So we're going to do the podcast from my office as opposed to doing it in the studio. So if it looks a little different because of the huge snowstorm that we had. Welcome to Rewind, my new online digital platform. Now, there's a video on TikTok about this young, delusional black woman trying to figure out why she can't get a man. Let's roll the clip.
Maybe two other ones, but they were in different, they were older than me. When I got my master's, it was one guy that was there. So imagine this being my dating pool. And even with work, the only black men I see are way older than me. And it's only one. And when women said, the more degrees you get as a black woman, the spaces you occupy, you're going to see less black men. And I thought y'all were tripping. And it's not like I'm in a place that is not popping. It's Chicago. You're telling me Chi-Town? He got his bachelor's, he got his master's, he's working a corporate job. I'm talking about those type of men.
Like most of these women, they lead with their degrees. Like most of these delusional women, they lead with their income. We don't care if you make 80 grand a year. We don't care if you make 100 grand a year. We don't care if you make 120 grand a year. We don't care. You women think because you have these high positions, these high education, and this high income, that's going to attract a man. We don't care about your income. As long as we as men are taking care of business, as long as we as men are paying our bills, as long as we as men are going further because of our careers, because of our incomes, that's all that matters. But you women think that the higher your degree, the higher your echelon in the totem pole, it's going to attract us. It's not. We're looking for friendly women. We're looking for feminine women. We're looking for women that have nice bodies, okay? We as men, I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. We are visual creatures. Stop leading with your degree. How come you women keep doing the same thing over and over and over? You keep getting the same result. And what result is that? You don't have a man. What else? You don't have a ring on the finger. But you keep doing the same thing. Then you're going to call your mom, telling your mom, how come I can't get a man? And then if your mom is in the same predicament, because say for argument's sake, your mom is single, your mom is divorced, or your mom is just a single mom, it repeats itself over and over again. Now, that's that generational wealth that your mom passed on to you, and then you're going to pass it on to your daughters, and so on and so forth. But the thing is, you women don't get it. Stop leading with your degree. Another thing you mentioned, that you live in Chicago. Chicago, you can't find a man in Chicago. It's like going to a bank and you can't find money. Come on, Chicago. There's all type of men in Chicago. You got your Pookies, you got your Ray Rays, you got your scammers, and you got your professional men. But you notice why you cannot get yourself a professional man. Because you're leading with your income. You're leading with your degree. You women don't get it. This is why you're in a major city and you still can't find yourself a date. You can't, not even a man. You can't even find yourself a date. Then there's something wrong with that. What are you doing wrong? One thing you're doing wrong is leading with your degree.
Y'all just think it's corny, right? That's why, right? Like, cause where y'all at? Because I want to be motivated. You know what I'm saying? I want to, every single time I see, you know what? I see him got himself together. I see that brother walking. I might just risk it all today. I can't say that. I'm trying to see where the eye candy is at. You know, I'm trying to see him have a nice cut with the waves. You know what I'm saying? Looking nice, business, casual, with some cologne on. Had me rethinking my life. Where are y'all at? I know y'all exist. Where are y'all? I'm scared to get my PhD because if I swear to you, I step on that campus, I've already looked at the data sets of all the schools that I applied to. Ain't a lot of this nowhere. But, and I'm thinking to myself, girl, this is it. I ain't gonna see it. I was trying to break down to my mom how crazy it is that there's a chance that I won't end up with a black man. And she like, no, you should just date whoever. Don't be just saying that you're gonna date outside your race and that's it. I'm not saying that's it. If a Michael B. Jordan, if a fine Trevante Rose come to me, I'm gonna step up and be the woman I need to be with him. But I'm thinking to myself, I'm explaining to my mom, I'm like, the things I find interesting, the places that I'm in, there's not a lot of black men there. It may be black women.
Now, another thing I noticed that you're talking about, you called your mom, and maybe you should date, according to your mom, somebody outside your race. But most black women want to date black men, which I think is cool. Date within your race. But then your mom was mentioning date outside your race. Let me tell you something about other cultures and other races. Just say a white man. White men don't like bossy chicks. White men don't like women who are out there. White men like women that are a little bit more subdued, a little bit more submissive, feminine. Most black women don't fit that mold. Not too many black women are submissive. A lot of them act masculine. They want to fight and argue and yell. When you lead with your degrees, that's something that a man does, which is masculine energy. When you're leading with your income, that's something that a man does because that's masculine energy. When you're doing this and dominating conversations and dominating everything else, like most of you black women do, that is a masculine trait. Other cultures and other races, they don't look at these traits as feminine. So even if you just go outside your race and trying to find somebody else, these men don't want you. So it's funny how you say black men don't want you, but you notice how other races like white men, Asian men, Hispanic men, how they don't want you either. Because you're leading the wrong way. Lead with your femininity. Be feminine. Be a lady. Wear a dress. Wear a skirt. Get your hair done. Put on a little bit of makeup. Nails. Don't overdo with these nails. I don't want to see talons. I want to see nails. And those eye jammies you black women have. You don't see any other race doing that besides you. With these spiders in your eyes. I call them eye jammies. Lead with your femininity. And that curly Q you have, I call them suede fronts you have in the corners of your hair. Come on, you are a black woman. You have kinky hair. What are these suede fronts you have in the corners of your hair? It's so lame. You black women do the same thing and you copy each other. And you wonder why you, as a group, you holistically cannot find a man. But the thing is, you cannot find a man, but you can't even get to first base and finding yourselves a date.
Fine. Beautiful works of art some of the time, but I don't want a scammer lifestyle. I didn't get 2 degrees to get out of the hood to go back to it. I don't want to be somebody's baby mama. I want to be. I don't want that for myself. I talked about all different types of black men, not just hood black men. I described a certain type of black man outside of hood black men, and that I met at least 3 of them in the last 4 years. And out of that 3, one of them don't even like black women. The second one belittled me before I could even try and think of him in a romantic way. He literally belittled me like this, wasn't listening, and was just disrespectful. So he's out of the equation.
And then you say, look at me. Look at me. Look at me. We're looking at you. And what do we see? We see an average woman. We see somebody that's average at best. I mean, you're talking about a type of man you're looking for, a type of man that you want to attract. But the thing is, what is it about you that men are running to see? What is it about you that men are like, wow, what are you doing tonight, Mom? Oh, wow. What's up for this weekend? I mean, then you wonder why you're attracting 0 men or a little bit of men. I mean, you talking about a man looking a certain way. You saying, look at me. Do it like I'm a woman that should be dating like Pookies and Ray Rays or dating hood guys. No, you don't look that way. But at the same time, do you look like the woman that should be dating like a higher caliber man? I don't see that either. Because like I said, you're average at best. When you want to pull somebody, a man, especially black men, since men are visual creatures, look a certain way. Look business professional. But at the same time, look sexy as well. At the same time, look enticing. I'm not saying look like a woman that walks the streets. I'm not saying that. It's a way of conducting yourself. It's a way of looking. That way a man would say, well, let me get to know you because you're attractive. You're evidently smart because you got your degrees. You got your ish together because you got money. But you notice that you're doing well in those aspects, but doing horrible in your personal love life aspect. Now, she mentioned 3 men. Now, the third man that she was mentioning was a man that, or gosh, I should say, that was working at her job. Now, she says she's not going to date anyone at her job. I don't condone dating somebody at your workplace. Don't do it. Believe me, don't do it. Don't date anyone at your workplace. So if something goes wrong, then it's going to affect your job. It's going to affect the way you do your job, your work. It's going to affect your efficiency at work. So I don't condone or agree with dating somebody at your job. And that's why those are the 3 guys that she said that was in her life. Out of everyone in Chicago, just those 3. And those 3 were not guys, I don't want to say deadbeats, but they were guys that were on your list, so to speak. But remember, you live in Chicago. There's plenty of men, business type men in Chicago. There's money in Chicago. Certain parts of Chicago, that is. And you still can't get a man. So my thing is, what's wrong with you? That you can't find a man, and out of all places, Chicago. So this week's Stomp Award goes to, you guessed it, it goes to you for being a typical delusional black woman. Ladies, gentlemen, you want a filtered analysis of videos just like this one. I want you to do one thing. I want you to hit that subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell for future notifications. That way you are notified when the video comes out each and every week. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, the like, make a comment, and let's get the conversation started. You're watching Rewind.